Alright you guys, the weather is just too low to go flying today. Even for IFR, check this out, it's like quarter-mile visibility, 200 overcast. There's no way we would get home, so what I'm gonna do with my time is walk you through a day in my life. Alright, a couple days, but this is very, very typical of what it's like to be Jason Miller, a professional and active certified flight instructor. Check it out. Alright you guys, it's just before sunrise. I'm walking out to the airplane. The first mission of the day today is an IFR training flight with Paul. It's a beautiful day though. No IFR playground in effect today. Check it out. The mission today is to fly in the system from San Carlos to Stockton. And then once we get there, we'll go VFR so we can simulate IFR on the way home. We're going to practice some holds over Concord and just keep moving his ball forward. If you're a double I, just to let you know, part of the thinking on doing a point-to-point flight in the system and then going to a simulated environment is that I can actually assess how Paul's doing on the way out there and formulate strategies for what we really need to work on. So it's sort of like lay back, watch what's happening, and then go to work on what needs to be fixed. Mr. Paul Duffy.
Morning.
How's it going? Alright, so on this day, Paul and I, it turns out we weren't going to Stockton. I got to the plane and he had filed already to Sacramento, but that was fine. We get on an airway, we're in the system, and what happens is, because of the Thule fog, there are actual delays going into Sacramento, and we got a real world hold, which allowed me to show Paul, A, that does happen in the real world, but also how to use the system I teach where we visualize the hold on the heading indicator, we verify the entry because of the redundancy we get in a single pilot world, and then we think in front of the airplane using the 5 T's. And for more on that, check out the video I published about 2 weeks ago back on the Finer Points channel. Anyway, here's what happened for Paul and I on this day.
That's 3 Tango Zulu is clear to the Sacramento VOR. Hold is published, maintain 3,000, and expect 1 turn in the holding pattern.
Hey, read that back to him.
I'm sorry, I would...
Okay. Okay, so we'll direct to the Sacramento VOR, maintain 3,000, hold as published, and expect 1 turn in the pattern, 1, 2, 3 Tango Zulu. That's your holding clearance.
Got it.
Okay.
3 Tango Zulu, read back correct, maintain 3,000.
Good.
So 3,000 is what we're maintaining.
Good. Now you can probably intuitively see that this is
7 Bravo Romeo,
simply a direct entry to a holding pattern, right? That's probably obvious to you.
Bravo Romeo, thank you.
But let's go through the procedure anyway. We always determine the entry with the outbound heading. So looking up here on your heading indicator, you find the outbound, 19 or 6 or whatever. The fix is in the middle. You fly right into it and you turn right. There's the pattern I would want you to visualize.
Yep.
Okay? Next step would be to verify that with, it's a right-hand pattern with a right thumb. If the number is below your thumb, it's direct. So it is in fact direct. When you get there, you turn right to a heading of 19 or 6. You basically turn around.
Yep.
Time for a minute. You'd want to hit OBS so that you could twist your inbound course, which is already twisted in there. But you want to hit OBS so that it doesn't sequence you in on the approach.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sort of.
So now you know, let's look at this again. You know what you're going to do when you get to Sacramento here in 1 minute and 37 seconds.
Yep.
All right, so let's go to OBS mode. Otherwise, if you don't,
Yep.
the airplane will sequence you in on the approach.
Okay.
You don't want to go on the approach. You want to hold it.
Okay.
So press OBS. You can't do that too early. Look what it did. It just turned Sacramento into a VOR for you.
Yep.
But since you're already on course to it,
Yep.
doesn't really matter, right?
Okay.
Now we're going to take heading control for the autopilot. So heading, press,
put this on heading?
actually center the bug first.
And then
Good,
heading.
now go to heading. Good. All right, now you're flying in heading mode. Now when we get there,
Yep.
you're coming to see yourself as coming up the bottom of the case
Yep.
here. When you get there, you're going to make a right turn, because it's a right-hand
Yep.
pattern, to turn around.
Press warning sky with
Right turn to a heading of 196.
Got it.
Got it?
West 3340 North California.
You're going to start timer for a minute.
Yep.
Okay, so you just stop that and go make it a. There you go.
Yep.
You're already twisted.
Yep.
So you don't twist anything. There's a direct entry. You're already twisted. You're going to slow down to holding speed, which is 90 knots, and you legally have to tell him 123 Tango Zulu holding at Sacramento 3,000 feet, 835 local or whatever it is.
Yep.
Time and altitude. Okay. When you get there.
20 seconds.
In 20 seconds. Do it all in order too. Don't talk to him first.
Yep.
Okay.
How exciting. So right turn to 193. So 196.
Good. Turn first.
3, 2, 1. Okay,
Good,
right
right.
to 196.
Excellent. Nice. Good.
Start timer.
Good. You're already twisted, so
Yeah.
throttle back. Yep, and tell him you're holding at Sacramento 3,000 at 833 local.
123 Tango Zulu holding 3000 Sacramento 833 local.
Number 3 Tango Zulu right. Expect further clearance at 1640.
That's 1640, 123 Tango Zulu.
That's your EFC time.
Yep.
You have to hear back from him in 6 minutes.
Yep.
It's more than one turn in the hold, so we'll see what happens here.
Approach Skywest 3340, just confirm all RVRs are reporting for 16 right.
Skywest 3340, runway 16 right, RVR 2,800 on the touchdown, 4,500 midpoint, and
this is
better
about the right
than
power.
6,000 rollout.
Great, thank you.
Skywest 3340, you need 1,200 all the way across.
Okay, I'm at 1 minute on the timer.
3 for Skywest 3340.
Good. And what's important is knowing the abeam, like when to start your outbound time is when you're abeam the Sacramento VOR. You'll know that when the flag flips back to a 2.
Ah,
When the flag goes back to 2, you know you've passed abeam the station.
Yep.
Or you could bring up, or you have bearing pointer 1 is another good way of knowing. But I would wait for the flag flip and then you start your outbound time. So there it is.
Tango Zulu, if you'll make this a 5-mile outbound leg, I think I'll be able to give you the clearance on the inbound leg.
Great.
Roger, Wilco 123 Tango Zulu.
So there you have it, a great learning experience, awesome weather, perfect instrument training. It doesn't always work out that way though. And this next day that I'm going to show you, I got myself up, I even took the train to work, I get all the way down there, and the lesson was, you know, a little harder earned on this day. So some days I drive, but today I'm taking the train. It's one less car on the road, and I can work on my way down. That extra little bit of work time is pretty critical. I like using Google Sheets. It lets me kind of review student accounts on my way to the lessons so that I never show up thinking, what did we do last time, right? I'm the guy that walks in and says, did you do your homework? Are you ready for our mission? I know exactly what's coming, and so does the student. I've got 3 flights today with a little gap in the afternoon. My first flight here is with Michael. Michael owns a 172 Hawk XP and is very close to getting his instrument rating. So he should have his instrument. He's got a check ride on January 10th, which is just about 30 days away. And we're gonna go get some actual experience here, get up on top and head out to where it's clear so we can do some simulated instrument training, which is more appropriate to the check ride environment. So we'll see how this goes. Well, here's how it went. While I was headed down, the weather had dropped significantly. It was 400 overcast and the visibilities were severely reduced. There was no way we were going flying today, even IFR. All right, well that didn't last long. The weather, the sky condition is 400 overcast, which is below our takeoff minimums for an IFR lesson. And there we go, lesson 1 scrubbed. I have until 12:30 now, which is about 2 hours to my next flight goes. All right, so the important thing though is that you have some personal minimums set aside, and you have to write those down and commit yourself to them. So for VFR, make sure you know what is the minimum ceiling, the minimum visibility, the maximum crosswind, the maximum headwind, maybe the shortest runway. Make sure you write these things down while you're in the comfort of your office or your home, or sometime when you have a chance to think about it, and then commit yourself to it. Do not break your personal minimums. You can change them, you just can't change them on the day you're going to go flying. So here are the no-goes that I teach instrument pilots and the ones that I use for myself during instrument flight. I don't think it would be right to show you a day in my life without showing you a brief clip of the Sky Kitchen, the famous diner at San Carlos Airport. Sometimes when I'm lucky, I'll be able to take a student there for a debriefing in between lessons. Alright, in this last lesson I'm going to show you a drill that I do with students. There is a video that goes deeper into this, but this is to really help pilots get a feel for the stick and rudder inputs. And keep in mind that Alex is an instrument candidate here, so sometimes it's appropriate to take an instrument student and go back and work on some of these basic skills. But here's the idea. You slow the airplane down a little bit, just so that you can use large aileron deflections, and start by putting your feet flat on the floor, like you forgot there's a rudder in the airplane, right? And just as fast as you're comfortable, crank in large aileron inputs, really fast roll rates. And what you want to feel is the seat of your pants. Now, most training airplanes have designed out a lot of the stick and rudder feel you get from, the old classics, but you can still feel it if you're extreme enough and you're slow enough. What you'll feel is, if you imagine there's two hands kind of, under your butt, you're going to feel pressure on the side where you need rudder. All right, so if I go to the left and I needed left rudder, I'm going to feel pressure on that side, and I'm going to feel it just a fraction of a second after the aileron input. Once I feel what it feels like to do it wrong, then try adding in the rudder so that you can feel what it feels like to do it right. Let's check this out.
Like, you'll hear me nag you when we go instrument flying. I'm like, get your feet in the game, get your feet in the game. Because sometimes I see you do this, like you'll be in a turn, and then you'll just come out of the turn like that. And I'm thinking, oh, where was the rudder? So it's just like an exercise, like just going to the gym to sort of connect your feet to the aileron inputs. That's, you don't need to be this slow, like stall horn on. You can be like 60 for this one. We don't want to accidentally stall here.
Oh, okay.
So this one's more about just being generally slow because it's faster.
Or notable.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so without the aileron, or without the rudder.
Right, I feel it on the left, I feel it on the right.
Oh, God,
right?
yeah.
Now you're going to need a pretty stiff push with each deflection.
All right.
One more. There you go. A little more rudder on that one. Good. Yes, that's what I need to get your feet doing.
So most days I finish up just around sunset. Sometimes I go a bit past it. Sunrise and sunset are such beautiful times to fly. There are long hours, but as a CFI, it's really rewarding work. There's nothing like helping people see this for the first time. All right, my thanks to you guys for watching this. This is like, a couple days of my life blended into one, but this is what I do. This is what I love to do. And my thanks to the sponsors, my thanks to the patrons. If you're interested in extra videos, longer lesson videos, like minimally edited videos, extra flying tips, all that fun stuff, you can support the Finer Points channel and get all of those bonuses at patreon.com/learntfp. My thanks to Michael Bazar for the music. Please come find me on Instagram or on Facebook or on the web at learnthefinerpoints.com. Thanks for watching this video. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. You are the best fans on the internet, and until next time, be safe and fly your best.